As a leader, what are you doing to develop the skills that you and your team need to be future ready? I was approached recently to be a guest on a business podcast, and the host asked me to talk about building a future ready workforce. So we're going to talk about that. And she sent me a list of questions to consider that could form some of the topics in the podcast episode that we record. And one of the questions is, what skills are essential for the future and which ones perhaps we don't even need anymore? And so it's about prioritizing. And I always think that any skill you've got does have value in certain circumstances and certain situations. But definitely there are some which are lower priority now. So for years I've been saying that we shouldn't be teaching kids how to do times tables so they can do maths in their head. Because now we've all got access to calculators and Google and spreadsheets and AI to do that for us. And I was talking to a friend about this, and he said, no, in my role as a negotiator, when we're negotiating complex financial contracts, it's really valuable to be able to do maths in your head because you're perceived as somebody who's more competent because you can do that. And I said, great. Absolutely, for that sort of role, learn how to do that, learn that skill, because it's really useful in that very narrow role. But in general, it's not a broad skill that we all need to learn anymore. In fact, in every profession, in every area of expertise, you need deep expertise. You need to have skills in that area, in that field, in that domain. If you're thinking about going to surgery, which would you rather have? A crotchety old doctor who is very, very good at surgery and has decades of experience behind him, or somebody who's a really good people person and really gets along well with the rest of the team and with you, but isn't as good doing surgery? Of course, you'd rather have the first one, right? Well, actually, even that's not true. The research shows that medical mishaps and mistakes are reduced when the whole operating team doing surgery gets along well. Doesn't mean they're laughing and joking through the surgery, but there's a rapport that's built, and it comes from the surgeon herself and himself, and then engaging the rest of the team. It's true with things like airline pilots as well. Again, there's research that shows that when pilots and co-pilots are treated as equal and everyone on the flight deck is invited to engage and even point out potential mistakes, that it reduces the incidence of problems. So even with deep expertise, you need these wide skills as well. And the wide, broad skills are skills that apply across different areas, across different jobs, across different professions. And they're the sort of things that I'm sure you've heard of. Being able to collaborate well, being able to embrace diversity. Now, having AI literacy, and being able to manage your own information overload and manage your own attention and energy. So all of those skills are really valuable, and it's worth learning them because they apply across different roles, different jobs, even different professions. So the skills for the future: you need deep expertise, and you need to continue working on your deep expertise. Same for your team. And you need to help your team develop those broad skills, and of course you develop them for yourself as well. If you'd like to know more about this, I published a recent report about future ready skills for 2026 and beyond. At the start of every year I publish a new report. This year it's about future ready skills. It's free. You can get it from my website. Just go to gihanperera.com and you'll find the link to download it, and have a look through that. You can look at the 12 key skills that I've identified for you and your team and your organization to be future ready. If you've got any comments or questions on any of them after you read through it, please drop me a line. I'd love to have a chat. In the meantime, download it, and I'm sure you'll get value from it. I'll see you in the future.